tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands.
Hello and welcome to Into the Mix. Right now we're doing some classes right now, plugin classes. Right now I'm going to be going over the Waves Abbey Road Plate reverb user manual. I'm going to just do some basic reading and going over it, maybe a 30-minute video or something like that. But we're going to get a good look at what's going on here and what does the manual say. I already went over it, did a blind went over it, which may start turning into reviews pretty soon. I already did a blind walkthrough of it, but now let's go to the user manual to see what the user manual may give us. Also, again, for the other video to see me work with Abbey Roads, I'll leave that link in the description. So let's just start and let's skip the welcome because they're all the same. Let's go straight to what this is, shall we? The original reverb plate at Abbey Road Studio. Okay, let's do this. Maybe I should, yes, I can do that. The original plate at Abbey Road Studio. One of the unique tools available to artists recording at Abbey Road Studio in the mid-20th century was access to the studio's 3 echo chambers for the creation of unique reverb effects. The sounds created by the chambers was very natural, but not easily adjustable, allowing only a single fixed reverb and decay time per chamber. With just 3 chambers existing to facilitate reverb, I guess that's that word, facilitate reverb for all of Abbey Road's recording, remixing, in transfer rooms. Availability would often also be an issue. To combat this, in the 1950s, Abbey Road Studio purchased 4 brand new state-of-the-art plate reverb units to complement the existing chambers. Designed in Germany by EMT, these were the first professional electro-mechanical artificial reverb units made available to studios worldwide. At 8 feet long and 4 feet tall and 1 foot wide, these plates were considerably more compact than the chamber rooms. Each plate contained a large sheet or plate, a steel suspended vertically by a set of springs to allow it to resonate, and was fixed to a stable steel frame. A small transducer speaker was fixed to the plate center point, and when a signal was played through the speaker, the plate would begin to vibrate, sustaining the tone for several seconds. 2 pickups were attached to each plate on both sides of the speaker, a quarter of the distance from the plate's edge. The pickups scented the vibration, converted it into a line level, and sent it to the output plate amplifier. Unlike the reverb chamber, these plates had a damper system to allow adjustments of the reverb decay time. The damper system considered of the fiberglass panel, suspended panel to the plate, which could move toward or away from the plate sheet. The dampener could control variables, distances, ranges from, I guess, 1/8 away, eighth note away from the plate, or a 1 second reverberation time to two away from, what is that, 2 inches? To 2 inches away from the plate for a 5-second delay. This system let the user tune the delay time with whatever precision was required to meet the needs of the particular recording or mixing session. To this day, Abbey Road Studio house the 4 reverb plates labeled A, B, C, and D. Plate D has all values amplifiers on both the input and output stages, considering of E8 1L, E8 OCC blase values. Plate A, B, and C also has an all value amplifier on the input, but on the output stage, EMI Central Research Laboratories custom built hybrid solid state value amplifier in an attempt to keep the noise flow to the minimum. The sound of the plates is generally considered smoother than the echo chambers if not entirely natural. Most Abbey Road engineers initially preferred the more organic sounding chambers, but this became less of an issue when brands started to experiment with psychopathic sounds, psychedelic. When experimented with psychedelic sounds and natural sounding recording techniques were becoming less in vogue for pop music due to the nature of analog value equipment and manufacturing techniques. Plus, no two plates sound the same. Each has its own distinct sonic characteristic from the mid 1960s onward, ever since Sgt. Pepper, Lonely Hearts Club Band era. These four plates have seen significant use on nearly every pop record done at Abbey Road Studio, from the Beatles and Pink Floyd to Radiohead, Adele, James Blake, Flores, Plus the Machine, and Frank Ocean. The plates even started being favored by some of the classical engineers, and even long were used before long were being used on a wealth of film scores, so much so that the plate would often have to be booked well in advance for sessions to guarantee their availability. I guess we're gonna go ahead and do this product overview. 1 second, please. Okay, product review. The Waves Abbey Road's Reverb Plate plugin faithfully models the above mentioned plates A, B, C, and D. The plate selector control allows you to switch between the 4 model plates, letting you find the exact reverb ambience you need. And when they're talking about that, they're talking about this right here. This is what they're talking about, switching up the plates. Okay. You can also choose from 11 different damper positions, giving you different reverb decay times, anywhere from 1 to 5.4 seconds, depending on the selected plate. The bass cut circuit of the driver amplifier chain has also been modeled so you can decrease the overall low frequency area to avoid rumbles. The treble control is a high shelf, and see, this is what I was talking about in my work through video. The treble control is a high shelf filter. What? A high shelf filter? Either it's a high shelf or it's a filter. What the fuck? Sorry, man. This is mind-boggling, because it's still not. I'm gonna say it's a shelf, but when I see that filter, it's like they're playing word tricks with me. Is it a filter or is it a shelf? I don't want to use high shelving filters, because it seems like you would shelf the high, but it'll still have a filter on it or some shit like that. because a high shelf is a high shelf. A low shelf, a low shelf is for the low frequencies. So you got the shelves, you know. But a filter is something different. It's like a cut. It's like a high pass filter or a low pass filter. So it's like a shelf filter. I don't want to believe that. Let's just continue. I'll figure it out one day. The treble control is a high shelf filter that, well, I guess you can say the whole thing would be considered some type of a filter. So I guess that's why they called it that, you know, I guess. Because you have the low bass cut, which is basically a filter. If it had a cut, it'd probably just be a filter. I don't know. The treble controls is a high shelf filter that adds brightness and air to the overall reverb sound. It can also decrease the top of the high frequency range, resulting in a dark sound. The drive and analog control model the original amplifier's TDH behavior and the behavior in the plate. Hum and noise switches them on and off. Hold on. The drive and analog. So the drive and the analog switch. The drive and the analog controls models the original amplifier's THD behavior, and the plate's hum and noise switches them on or off, and selects the exact amount added. The pre-delay control sets the amount of delay between the direct dry signal and the processed wet signal, while the dry wet control sets the balance between the two. Concepts and terminology. Interesting concept itself, no pun intended. Since the original hardware plates at Abbey Road Studios are not located inside the control room, engineers need to use a remote control in order to set the damper position. The damper control of the Abbey Road's plates plug-in is inspired by that remote control. That bass cut control is modeled after the original bass cut circuit located at the original plate input amplifier. The treble control has been added as an extra feature. It is EMI mixing desk, which were often used to brighten up the signal. Those are interesting, and I worked on it. I didn't know that, and I think I have read this already before too. Tab you read it, you go. For me was the cross talking, and I wish it really did emphasizes what this really is doing. I kind of get the basics of everything else, but these two things being modeled after the hum, I know noise and hum and stuff, but in the real analog gear, I know that stuff, but these would probably be cool to play with, you know. This is like the control on the actual desk. That's pretty cool. So let's just continue, shall we? Let's just wrap it up. The components. Let's see. Yeah, so this is how the signal is traveling in. You know, you have the in, and you have the out. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the stuff that's in between. When I look at the in and out, I don't just look at this. Oh, this is the signal. And I imagine, you know what I'm saying, that a signal is coming in here. You can adjust the volume here. It's going into the inners, and it's coming out here. That you can adjust the volume here, but it's still coming out. In and out, you know what I'm saying? So if you're in mono, this is what it looks like, you know. It just goes to the processing, mono to stereo. So it goes from mono to stereo, then both out. Then stereo inputs, obvious. I guess that's no interaction. They're on their own individual channels. Cause this mono to stereo turns the mono into the stereo. It looks like it. Duh, obvious, but see it go through the processing. And then if you have stereo, hold on, you see that there? That's cross-talking. So cross-talking occurs here and here. By just looking at it. Well, no, because it says this equals cross-talking, so the cross-talking happens here. So if cross-talking happens, and that's what I was saying here, what that button is, it would happen here before it hits the plate. On its input. See, so a cross-talking issue. Quick startup guide. Launch the Waves Abbey Road's plugin plates plugin on your reverb auxiliary bus or track inserts and default. Send the signal to the reverb auxiliary and listen to it through the default preset. Set the dampener value to fit your overall sound. Change the plate selector to find the precise plate that sounds you want. Each plate sounds different. Depends on the spring, the type of amplifier engine. The spring, I guess they're talking about the spring on the plates. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's it right there or what, but they're probably talking about the springs and shit. Why do I keep cursing? Raw frequencies, bass cut control. Use the pre-delay control between the die signal and the wet sound. We suggest using 15 milliseconds for instruments and 40 milliseconds for vocals. This is only a suggestion. However, delayed times best serves the mix in your view. Use the treble control to brighten up overall sounds. The driver and analog controls allow you to add or turn off the Model THD behavior in noise and hum levels. Interface controls. They already did a lot of this stuff in the other video I will link for those who want to see this in action. I'm not going to really do this in action here. Range controls before processing. Take the stereo component, left and right faders, move them independently together. Area 2 faders. Range is 18. So 18 dB. I guess we're speaking in UV metering input. Faders. Plates. Note the swing. Plate selector to plate. No. Switching plates does not change the values of any of the other plug-in parameters. Plate A. Damper controls. Okay, we got all that base. Oh, here's some stuff here. Will give you much stronger. See, I need to see this. Damper control. Controls the reverb delay time, letting you choose from 11 different dampening positions from 0 to 10. Selecting the dampener position by clicking the plus or minus sign, both which responds to extended mouse clicks have been clicked or please note number of meter response damping positions. They do not represent the number of decay time. Each of the 4 plates is shown behavior the same. So corrected. The reverb time depends on the reverb using 3 plates. For example, dampener position 3 on plate C will give you much more stronger reverb time than a dampener position 3 in plate A. So depending on which plate you have, what they're saying, when you use a dampener, it's gonna give you you can have it on one the whole time, but it's gonna give you different dampening depending on the plate that you select. In the bass cut, there are 4 high pass filter modes from ranges from 10 to 1000 hertz, from 0 to 3. 0, no bass cut. Drive controls the amount added signal and behavior of the driver amplifier in the plate itself. Analog controls the amount of hum precise. So this is how you get, you know what I'm saying, the hum and the noise, and this is how you would get, you know what I'm saying, the preamp gain, you know what I'm saying, that was on the original hardware. Pre-delay, wet, dry, crosstalk, and here we go. Only in stereo to crosstalk only to stereo components. Controls the summing between the left and right inputs to get a stereo effect. It sums it. Output link. Oh, we know that one. Okay, well, that was a look at the Abbey Road's user manual. You know, it's pretty dope, you know what I'm saying? Looking at everything that it has to offer. I mean, it sounds real nice, you know what I'm saying? Again, I'll leak that video to see if you want to see it in action in the description. Go ahead and get out of here and finish up on some other stuff. I want to go ahead and just do this quick little video. And make sure you like and subscribe, especially if you want to do more. I'm going to be doing whole live sessions, Pro Tools Bootcamp pretty soon, all that stuff. So make sure you like and subscribe to help this channel grow, to give me more time as well to get this stuff done.